Today's review is the second of the new beers from Tesco. This is Doppelgänger by Vocation. It's a double dry hopped IPA, but what's it going to be like? Keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to Vocation down in Hebden Bridge for their Doppelgänger. This is a double dry hopped IPA available in Tesco supermarket, their new range. And exciting for this one is the fact that it actually has the hops on, which is quite rare for a supermarket beer. But we've got Simcoe and Mosaic. Two hops that I wouldn't say I was like massively excited about. Simcoe, is that earthy, tropical sort of stuff. Mosaic, the blueberry, tropical sort of stuff. They're very two sort of new school, old school sort of hops. They are the new world hops, US hops. But it seems like a lot of breweries have moved on from them now because they're just a little bit boring. But I'm glad they put the hops in. Gives us some sort of idea what to expect. It's a double dry hopped IPA, 6.7%. Let's crack it open. Let's get it in a glass and see if it's going to be as good as that North one. I really like the North one. It was a very solid, it's not going to blow your socks off, but for a supermarket beer, it was solid. It was one of those sort of beers as well that was so drinkable and had some really refreshing sort of flavours in it that, I'll definitely buy that one again. Let's see what this one has in store for us. Beer in a glass, well, it's hazy, but I'd probably say it's even less hazy than the last one. It's almost like a slight haze at the bottom there, but it's a sort of yellowy orange beer. Looks okay. We've got two fingers there of a pretty compacted head. A few loose bubbles around the outside there. Very ice white in colour. You can see that beer it's got a slight haze to it. It's a very light haze for an IPA at 6.7%. I wonder if it's going to be more sort of a mountain IPA or, something along that lines. Let's see what the aroma's like. I'm getting sort of sweet tangerine as the main aroma. That's about it. It's very orangey. Right, let's tuck in. Cheers, everyone. Not great. Soft body. Low levels of carbonation, but it's a very, again, light beer, which is a thing that I'm going to say on a lot of these supermarkets beer. They always are very light. They don't put as much oats in it. Hops aren't probably as much, so it doesn't give the body that it wants. Flavour-wise, there's a real sort of weird twang to this beer. Orange is the flavour, but it's almost like, I'm surprised, it's got the hops on it, but it almost tastes like it's got something added to it. Yeah, I'd almost go to say it was a very bit like a mountain IPA. It's got a soft mouthfeel, but it's not really that complex. It's got a soft mouthfeel. It doesn't taste like an East Coast. It hasn't got that sort of the yeast profile that you get with it at an East Coast beer. But it's not got any bitterness at all, so it's not like a West Coast either. But the flavour is very orangey. But it's a bit one-dimensional. It's orangey and you're thinking, that's all right. What else we got? And there ain't anything else. It's just orange. It's drinkable. Again, it's one of those beers that's, these IPAs, if you compare it with some of the IPAs that you've seen on the channel, the likes, what ones have we done recently? Good IPAs. Well, the couple of the ones that we had from Polly's and their birthday ones. The IPA from Cloudwater, their birthday one. What else have we had? Let's have a quick look around. Even the likes of that really good Curve one by Beak. This is nowhere near that sort of beer. It's all right. It's fruity. It's juicy. But I'm getting a lot of orange and I want more. I want some sour citrus. I'm not getting grapefruit. I'm not getting much in the way of passion fruit maybe a little bit, but I always think orange, passion fruit, they can be interchangeable a little bit. But it's light. It's not as watery though. It's it's all right. It's not great. I don't even think it's good. It's not good enough. It's not. It's one of those sort of beers that you drink and you think, supermarket type of beer, that flavour. There's that sort of. I don't know where. I do think that when you get a beer that's got a lot of orangey sort of flavours in it, orange doesn't sort of, as a flavour, it's obviously generated from the hop. Well, obviously, we hope so on this. But let's have a quick look, make sure it hasn't got any weird orange puree or anything stupid like that in it. It says a bold and intense brew, double dry hop to release an ever-increasing cascade of fruity aromas and delicate sweetness and balancing earthy undertone. Double the hops, double the flavour, single can will certainly not be enough. Strong aromas of sweet mango and stone fruit balanced with a zesty citra bitterness and piney resinous finish. Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a slight piney resinous finish. But I'm getting lots of orange. And there's something that's not a natural flavour of orange. There's this sort of slight sort of saccharine orangey concentrate flavour, I think. It's almost like a little bit of cordial, orange cordial in there. It's a little bit harsh. And there's nothing else happening. Yes, it's a bit earthy because that orange is pulled back and not being bright and light and citrusy. It's very sort of earthy in that orange flavour. But I want a bit more. I want some development. And the body's thin and light. Yeah, I mean, I've got to admit, the North one was a lot better than this. Whether it was just that the flavours were better, but this one, yeah, it doesn't really hit home very much at all. It's not the sort of beer that you can compare with any decent IPAs. It's disappointing because the can, I love the can artwork. I'm glad they put the hops on it, but it's bang average. It's almost like drinking this one, and soon I've drunk this one pretty soon after the North one, and it's like I should have rated North one better, because when you drink this one, you think that North one is a lot better. It's brighter, it's more drinkable, it's got more zest and citrus flavours going through it, but this one is all a little bit subdued in the flavour in terms of a sweet orange, but the earthiness sort of drags it back from being a bright flavoursome beer. Disappointing. It's all right. I think, we've had lots of worse in the supermarkets, but we've also had lots of better ones. A little bit disappointed with this. I hope that the Northern Monk ones are going to be reasonably okay, but I've got, my expectations are now really low. They used to be really high for Northern Monk supermarket beers, but now they're really low, because I think the last few releases have been damn poor. And the fact that they're now bringing out flavoured beers, the likes of what Tiny Rebel and Brewdog do a lot of, I'm just like, are they going to be the third worst beer breweries in the supermarkets? Yeah, we don't know. But anyway, let's get some scores for Doppelgänger. Okay, the scores are in for Doppelgänger. Lovely can. This is from Vocation. It's a double dry hop IPA with Simcoe and Mosaic hops in it, but it's a bit average. It's, even for a supermarket beer, it's a little bit average, and I'm a little bit disappointed with. So let's go through the scores. Starting with aroma, appearance, value for money, flavour. I'll mix those two up. And then finally, my overall experience. Tighten the scores up, just about recommended. Total score off. Yeah, I mean, it's a supermarket beer. It's drinkable. But at this point, if I'm going back to Tesco's and looking at beers, I'm going to be buying this one because it's a better beer. So, yeah, we've got the two Northern Monk ones to go. Let's hope that they're better than the last two Northern Monk ones I had. I don't know. I'm just, I'm drinking these beers and I'm thinking I've still got a fridge full of really good craft beer that, okay, I paid nearly twice as much for. But these are a little bit on the average side. I do get to the point where I think, do I want to be drinking supermarket beers? But I think, you know, it's fair for you guys to watch the channel, that, you know, that you can make a decision on what you think of these supermarket beers. But I really, I'm the strong belief that the standard of supermarket beers has gone down. Whether that's because of the, you know, the cost of living, and so the breweries are having to cut even more sort of costs in terms of the way they make them, because the supermarkets will say, no, we are only going to pay you this for it. I don't know, but I think it's going to have it could be a double-edged sword, because Vocation, Northern Monk, well, at one point the premier sort of beer producers, hence why the supermarkets wanted to get them in, but now they're sort of in that supermarket system. It's gonna ruin, I think, their brand name. But let me know what you think of that opinion. I know there's some other YouTubers, Beer Dad's Beer Reviewer has made some quite a scathing attack on Northern Monk recently, and it's probably absolutely, you know, he's got very good points there, because they have definitely dipped in terms of their quality. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next one, you know what you do. Like and subscribe. I ask it in the end of every video. And then if you do that, then you only have to do 1 or 2 more things. Yeah, the first one of those things is to drink good craft beer. And the second one is to keep on rocking.